Hello and welcome. Today we're working on Chapter 11 in Financial Accounting. We're working on the financial reporting chapter where we're dealing with cash dividends, stock dividends, and stock splits. Hey, if you're new, my name is Jeff. I teach a lot of accounting, a lot of finance, a lot of financial skills. So please join us, please like, please subscribe, and let's get started. Now in Chapter 11, we have cash dividends, and cash dividends are dividends that are issued based on company profits. It's a distribution of earnings, it comes from retained earnings, and it comes from the cash account. Stock dividends represent additional shares that are issued, and stock splits, the idea is they take one share and split it into two or three or whatever. So let's do some examples, and this will become clear to you. So our first example is going to be cash dividends. And so let's say the board of Foxtrot Corp declares on April 1st, they're going to pay a $2 dividend to every share, right? Payable on May the 20th. And the company has the following common shares: authorized, issued, and outstanding. Now, authorized number of shares is the total shares they can sell under their current corporate charter. So we ignore that. Issued are shares that have been sold originally, but some shares have been repurchased. 25,000 shares have been repurchased, looks like. So the outstanding is we have 325,000 that are still owned by the stockholders. The difference in the 350 and the 325 is going to be treasury stock. So treasury stock is stock that has been issued, was sold to the public, and the company repurchased some of those shares, so it no longer represents ownership. So the important number is always outstanding. This represents ownership. This represents the right to vote and the right to receive dividends. So this is an important number. We're always going to look for outstanding. If it kind of says issued and it doesn't say anything else, then we usually assume issued equals outstanding. But this is the real number that we want. We want the outstanding number, right? So April 1st, what entry do we need to make? We need to make an entry. We're going to debit the dividends account, or we're going to debit retained earnings. It all comes out of retained earnings. You could use a dividends account and then close it to retained earnings as a part of your closing entries. But what's going to happen is we're going to take 325,000 times the $2 per share dividend. So we're going to issue dividends of 650,000. So it's going to be 650,000 is our dividends payable. And then when May 20th rolls around, we're actually going to pay the cash, 650, and cash goes down 650. So what you see is our retained earnings goes down, our cash goes down, and we have issued cash dividends. Cash dividends is always easy like this. You need to know the first date. The first date is the date of declaration, and the second date is the date of payment, and here it is. So you just have to figure out how many shares are outstanding and what's the dividend per share. Now on stock dividends we have small stock dividends are deemed to be 25% or less. We think it wouldn't change the market price very much, and so therefore we're going to use the market share price or the market value. But large stock dividends, 25%, more than 25%, so 26% and higher, we would use the par value because we don't know what the stock price will be after the large stock dividend. Now, it's also a distribution of additional shares, but it doesn't pay cash because you want to conserve cash. You want to maybe keep the stock price, reduce it because it makes it more affordable, you think. It's kind of a good signal for investors. They think, oh, this is great. They issued a stock dividend, but it's not really that much economic benefit. It shows management confidence. It's good news. Investors view it as a good signal, so it's kind of good news, but Berkshire Hathaway is one of the famous companies that have never had a stock split, never had a stock dividend. So it's the chairman is Warren Buffett, and so they just never do stock splits, stock dividends. So their share price is really, really high. You may not know this, and so I'm recording today it's in December 6th, 2025. So let's look up Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway is BRKA. It's the A shares, the A class. So if we go Berkshire Hathaway, go to data, stocks, Berkshire Hathaway, let's see what the price of Berkshire Hathaway is. Well, it's $755,800. So I'm going to type this in so you can see it. This is $755,800. That's for one share. $755,800 for one share of stock is the stock price for Berkshire Hathaway today. So in the comments below, check out what Berkshire Hathaway is on today's date when you're looking at this. It might be a month from now, it might be a year from now, 2, 3, 4 years from now. Put in the comments below, what is Berkshire's stock price? And then you could run the math and say, well, if it's $755,000 on December the 6th, 2025, and a year later it's $777, then you can figure out what kind of rate of return happened over the year. Or it could be down. It could be $730,000. It's down $25,000. All right, so a small stock dividend, let's look at this example. Golf Corp has 600,000 of common stock shares outstanding. On June 1st, the board declares a 15% stock dividend when the stock price is $82 per share. It will be distributed on July 15th, and there's a $5 par value. Now, first thing we want to do on this one is how many additional shares are there going to be? Well, it's going to be 600,000 shares times 0.15. So we're going to issue 90,000 more shares. So make sure we all agree this is going to be 90,000 shares additional. So what we have is we're going to assume that the stock price stays at $82. So if we take 90 times $82, we're going to say, hey, this is like issuing $7,380,000 worth of stock. So we're going to debit 7,380 million, and we're going to use an account similar to dividends payable, except this is, I wrote out the full title. Typically I don't, but the full title is Common Stock Dividend or Stock Dividend Distributable. We pay cash, but we distribute shares of stock. So this is why the wording is this way. You might be asking yourself, what kind of account is Common Stock Dividend Distributable? Well, it is a contra equity. It's going to reduce equity. So we're going to set up Common Stock Dividend Distributable, get rid of it here, but we're going to issue common stock. Now, common stock is going to be 90,000 shares, and it's times the par value, so times $5. So that's 450,000. We have to show that at par value, and then the remainder goes to APIC, or additional paid-in capital. So 7.3 million, 7.4 million, I guess, minus the 450,000 is 6,930,000. Now, what's really happened here? We debited retained earnings and we credited common stock, the net of these two transactions. So we just moved dollars. So is this really an economic event? We moved dollars from retained earnings to common stock. The total stockholder stays the same, the total asset stays the same, the total liability stays the same. So for the company, we just reclassified. It's like moving, a piece of paper from one folder to another folder, one file to another file. We reclassified $7.4 million from retained earnings to common stock. Now, the shareholders, they say, oh, I had 100 shares, now I have 115. So they may view it as a good sign, but it may not really be an economic event. Now, example number 3, what if we have a large stock dividend more than 25, so 26 or higher? So let's do Golf Corp has 600,000 shares of common stock. They declare 100% stock dividend. Well, that's going to be easy to figure out. We're just going to have an additional 600,000 shares, right? An additional 600,000 shares. We do not know what the stock price is going to be at this point because it doubles. And what they'll do on the stock exchange, they would take the 82, divide it by 2 here because it's 100% stock dividend, and they would reset it at 41, and then it's free to trade up or down based on that. But for the company, they would record it just at par value. So they would say 600,000 times 5. So it's 3 million, and the distributable is going to be the same 3 million. And then the common stock dividend distributable, here I abbreviated rather than writing out that whole title. And then common stock is 3 million. So all we did, we moved 3 million from retained earnings to common stock. No effect on assets, liabilities, and there's no effect on total stockholders' equity. Now, you might be asking about a stock split. Well, a stock split, the classic one is a 2-for-1 stock split. So you're assuming one share magically splits into 2 shares. And so it's economically the same. A 2-for-1 stock split or 100% stock dividend are exactly the same. So let's do the stock split. You're going to love this entry. Don't look ahead. But let's say we have 600,000 shares of common stock. We do a 2-for-1 stock split. All this information, well, there's going to be no entry. We're not even moving from retained earnings to common stock. In fact, all we do is we take the total number of shares of 600,000, we multiply times 2, so now it's 1,200,000 shares. The stock price gets recalculated, 82 divided by 2 and get 41. The par value goes from 5 to 250. So all we do is we just make some internal memos, essentially, and it says now we have 1,200,000 shares. So if you had 100 shares, now you have 200. You have 200 out of the now 1.2 million shares. Your share price now is cut in half to 41, so you have exactly the same. You had 100 shares times 82, now you have 200 shares times 41. So a stock split just reduces the stock price. It doesn't affect any of the economics of the business or even the balance sheet of the business. On the balance sheet under stockholders' equity, you would say we have, instead of 600,000 shares, we say we have 1.2 million shares. The net effect, the market cap stays the same, the par value stays the same, except the per share goes down. The total par value is the same. So a stock split is just a nice feature because we might want to reduce the price from 82 to 41 or 500 to 250 or whatever. So a stock split and a stock dividend, large stock dividend, are very, very similar. Hey, I hope this was helpful. Please like, please subscribe. Hey, I've got a video that YouTube thinks you'll really like. So I'll see you on the next one.